Use the approved poses if you want to be a memer. Peace sign, bunny ears, fake wiener.
How the hell are ya, you fat fucking cunts? Wait a minute. That's me. Galactic Criminal here. Today we've got Australian deathcore juggernauts to the grave with a brand new single. I've actually reacted to these fellas heaps of times on the channel before. Well, twice, actually. Now, from what I recall, these guys didn't go breaking any molds, but I very much remember them bringing the heavy, and I'm here for it. This thing's coming in at 5 minutes, so let's stop wasting time talking and dig in. To the grave. Miserable Summer. 1, 2. Ooh. Uh-oh. They lost somebody. That sucks. Okay. I mean, they brought the heavy. That was certainly not something that I've heard. A lot of that, anyway. Man, I have thoughts. I mean, first and foremost, right off the top, let's talk about the drums in this and the mix. The drums were like really, really heavy, I feel, in the mix of this, and I'm not complaining, to be honest, because I don't really feel like it threatened a lot of what else was going on with the song. Somewhat more like simple style of deathcore. I kind of said that before. They're not like, I don't really feel like they were like breaking any molds, but again, this song kind of did in some ways. I don't really feel like I could say these guys sound like somebody else. A lot of times you hear a band, you can say, oh, this sounds kind of like this, or sounds a little bit like that, and that. I mean, like certain elements, maybe, like some of the vocal stuff or whatever, but just some of the patterns, some of the drum patterns and stuff, and the rhythms going on in this definitely threw me off. Kind of, I said they didn't break the mold before, and they kind of did. I kind of felt like I knew what I was getting when we started, and then just had really no idea. I mean, you can kind of find some like more stereotypical rhythm structures within this, but there was a lot of stuff to kind of differentiate itself from some other bands, especially a lot of the newer bands. Right now, this was very interesting. Again, the drums just did this for me. Some of those like triple double kick stuff like going on at the beginning, kind of fill type things happening. It's hard for me to describe because I'm not a musician, but you know what I'm talking about, especially when they kind of like set into the rhythm later on. Some of the like the bass drum stuff was just awesome. Just awesome. Because again, I kind of said this in some other reactions, some other deathcore that I've listened to before, is that you could go like straight chunks of a song doing the same drum style, just you know, and like some flourishes with the guitar and stuff like that, and it'll be awesome, it'll be heavy and cool. But when you kind of experiment with that, is when I find it very much interesting. Like a band like Talla is taking that like new metal rave, I guess, kind of style of drums to their metalcore / deathcore style. You know, it's experimentation. I kind of feel like this song, the drums were being very much experimented with here. Maybe even like the bass guitar adding to the very much heaviness of this. Now, was it at the beginning they said was it the bassist? It must have been kind of recently then that he passed. Did he pass away? I don't really know anything about this. This is my first time hearing anything about this. He's in the music video, so if they lost him, it's got to have been pretty recently, which really, really sucks. I mean, at least he gets to be immortalized in the music video. Got a lot of screen time here. Like holding the mic up to his mouth and he's I thought that was pretty fucking cool. But yeah, just like the heavy bass of this, with the bass guitar and the drums, that kind of made it for me. The vocals are good. It felt a little hollow sometimes, like the really, really deep lows sounded fantastic. But the kind of step back from that feels a little hollow to me, to be honest. I don't know if this is a new vocalist, or maybe I just am not recalling from the last one if he sounded like that. That's just me. Like, I'm a vocals guy for the most part, so that was just kind of a for me in this. Didn't totally take me out of it. I wish it kind of like, I don't know, had it been a bit fuller. Just being completely honest. And I guess the only other thing I could say I took issue with here was I wish there had been a little bit more going on guitar-wise, at least from what I could hear. I loved like the melodic sounding like ambient riff that was happening in this thing. It gave it a very cool feel, but I kind of wish there had, in a song that's 5 minutes long, been something a little more technical. You know, maybe have like a speed solo section in this thing to kind of just change the pace up from like the straight up chuggy feel throughout the entire thing. I very much enjoyed what was there. This is just something that I might have added a little bit more technical guitar work, and not every band needs it, but again, I feel for a song as long as this was, it could have definitely used an element like that. With my piss and grapes aside, though, I still very much enjoyed what they had to offer here, so hey, what the rest of you motherfuckers think of this shit? Do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments below. Of course, there'll be a link in the description for this video, so you can go to watch it for yourself, full screen, full audio, and get the full experience. And as always, have yourself a fantastic evening.